Turn to your neighbor and ask him this question. When are you turning green? Isn't it about time?
In the beginning, God said, let there be light.
We are cutting our dependence on unsustainable energy.
It is with immense pride and heartfelt admiration that I stand here to introduce a man whose vision and dedication have not only shaped the skyline, but also have illuminated the very path to a better tomorrow. A visionary leader, not only a leader who believes in infrastructure, but a leader who believes in building impact, a leader who believes in changing people's life, a leader who believes that his life here on earth is to be able to make billionaires tomorrow. A serial entrepreneur. Ladies and gentlemen, stand up as we welcome Mr. Mogobe to the stage.
Thank you, Deborah, for that very generous introduction. Let me start off by saying, although all protocol is observed, let me mention one or two people. The first one being Mogobe, my co-surgeon in life. Thank you for being part of this dream. And thank you for walking this journey with me since the year 1993. Let me recognize Mr. Mahosi and his beautiful speech. It really touched me from the bottom of my heart. I cannot shout loudly enough from the top of the hills or the top of the roof of Mogobe Plaza to express my appreciation, as well for Arnold, who birthed the idea in my heart, and who not only birthed the idea, but conceptualized that we can actually make this into a long-term, sustainable business. And I would also like to thank all the previous speakers and my partner in the building construction area, Mr. Chisoro. Thank you for that beautiful speech, even if rambling a little bit, but we appreciate the excitement and what it does to us. Turn to your neighbor and ask him this question. When are you turning green? Yeah. And the second question is, isn't it about time? So with that having been said, Rona, we have turned green. And when Deborah mentioned to me that the theme for this launch is navy blue, I said to him, why not green? And Mama Mogobe insisted on staying green. Now I succumbed to the pressure of the organizers, making navy blue. But on a serious note, this moment we are in is much bigger than today's project. Because today's project is not just the launch of a solar installation here on Earth. It is in many ways the closest thing we've come to the official launch of Mogobe Plaza itself. Because when Mogobe Plaza opened its doors to business in July of 2018, we began operating immediately. We are more focused in making use of the building and getting it to generate income than we were in the pomp and ceremony of an opening. So, because what we did, we focused on service, we focused on our tenants, we focused on delivery. but we never paused to mark the milestone publicly. So today, through this solar project, we finally do so. We're not just cutting a ribbon, kantele, when we get the scissors to cut the ribbon, but we are cutting our dependence on unsustainable energy. Itanda kofi bagaetsho, ke a le ikopela. This moment represents, as the previous speakers have indicated, more than just infrastructure. It is the unveiling of renewed vision for business, for leadership, and for responsibility. Botswana. We are planting a seed, just as Otlhaga articulated as the MC. We are planting a seed which we believe will grow into a forest of possibility. So, I want to express my gratitude, which is, gratitude is the foundation for leadership. No vision stands alone. I want to express gratitude for having team members such as Pastor Mweti, who spoke so eloquently and gave us a very warm prayer. We are part of an intricate network. Mweti is an important part of the team in the sense that when we launched this restaurant, he was one of the first people to come and pray for us. When we launched the Mogobe Entrepreneurship Mentorship Program, as well as the Mogobe Real Estate Mentorship Program, he was among the first people to come, not only to give benediction, but to also participate as a lecturer and a teacher. And it's amazing how people like him and others, including my good friend, Re Nelson Letsweni, who's been part of this long journey for more than 2 decades as a member of what we call our mastermind group. Go to how some of these things are conceptualized. We start off meeting, meditating and praying as a small group, and then encouraging one another. People that are not necessarily involved in the same vocation or in the same industry, we got together and we keep encouraging one another. And we've been through thick and thin together over the decades. So I applaud your presence, gentlemen, and I appreciate you. I also want to acknowledge the leadership of our government. I do not know whether Reshima Monacheng is still on his way, but he did say they have challenges in Parliament, so I do not know whether he will come. But if he was here, I would be saying that he must receive our appreciation on behalf of government. And that presence of people like him, and I believe a couple of permanent secretaries were also invited and they had confirmed they'll come. I don't know if they're here. Did the PSs make it? Looks like they haven't made it. Their presence would affirm their commitment to sustainable development and the fact that this is a shared mission. It's not an individual mission for anybody. So in that context, we honor our partners. We honor the architects, because architects were involved. We honor our engineers, because more than one engineer was involved. We honor our builders. We honor our solar specialists, led by Ramahosi. The hands and minds that turned believe into reality. And to the Mogobe team, this achievement is yours. Why don't you say, hallelujah? Oh, you want to say our usual refrain, yeah? Halala Mogobe Inc., halala. Viva Mogobe Inc., viva! Okay, I borrowed that from politicians, Bahaitu. To the team, this achievement is yours. Leadership succeeds when people move together. I'm so proud to call myself your leader, and I'm so proud that you've entrusted me with this immense responsibility. Why solar, you might ask, and why now? We live in a time that demands bold and responsible decisions. Energy insecurity, as Mr. Magosi, I didn't know you were going to articulate it so well. I could have deleted this part of my speech. But energy insecurity threatens economies. It's a real threat. Nothing is sustainable about these huge 20%, 40%, come also 60% increases in energy and charges to BPC. I read in the paper that BPC is asking ahead of time for permission to do yet another adjustment. So, in this sense, energy insecurity constitutes an existential crisis. Say existential crisis. It's a bit of a tongue twister, but it constitutes an existential crisis. Okay? Climate change threatens livelihoods because a time is coming, and some of our tenants have told us in no uncertain terms that they are quitting. They are leaving the building because they can no longer afford the power bill. It is unsustainable, it's unaffordable. They had to surrender some of the spaces they had here in Mogobe Plaza. So it's not just theory, it's a current existential reality we're facing. We did not just choose solar because it is fashionable. No, we chose it because it is responsible, and it is, in the general scheme of things, inevitable. For us, the project builds on long-term standing commitment to environmental stewardship. For nearly 2 decades, our sanitation and waste collection business, led by Mogobe, Clean Cities and Towns, led by my lovely wife, has worked quietly but consistently to keep our towns cleaner and healthy and more dignified. So this solar project is a further step. In fact, it serves the job of catapulting us and our efforts even further. It's strengthening our position as a group of eco-friendly, pro-environment, future-conscious entity. Ke kopa le go fi ba gaetso. Ke khwile di theme go ha le ba gaetso. No. Ma ke di boelele. Eco-friendly, pro-environment, and future-conscious entity. The sun shines on all of us, and we believe clean energy should do the same. Previous speakers have already demonstrated how Botswana is uniquely elevated. In other words, naturally positioned. It's almost as if God knew when He created planet Earth that there's a group of people, 2.5 million of them, ke batla go ba elevate, ke batla go ba positioner, ke batla go ba advantager, so that their country is elevated such that when and if they take advantage of these rays of the sun, which I'm supplying equally to everybody, Bone, they have that bit little extra oomph. So turn to your neighbor and say, we are blessed and highly favored. Recognize that and do something about it. So, this project powers more than Mogobe Plaza. It powers opportunity. If, as a result of this coming on, and Ramahosi, I don't want to misquote you, but you gave me a figure for 8 months. In a space of 8 months after this project, we will start seeing identifiable, recognizable reduction in the power bill. Am I misquoting you?
No, sir.
And they affect others, because a similar project has been erected, go Botu University, go Stanbic, they all confirm hore the electricity bills have gone down exponentially. We cannot wait for that day. In terms of these terrible bills, we cannot wait. We cannot wait. And there's a thing called maximum demand. Guys, maximum demand. That is the notion, regardless of how much you consume. BPC will just determine how much power was the highest you consumed throughout the year. Let's say when you had to use maximum power because there was demand at that time. What they do, and this thing for me, and I try to fight it, you can't fight it because they've protected themselves in the legislation. For me, it's just daylight robbery. Because what it then says, regardless of your level of consumption throughout the year, Ronarle by BPC, we are one way. Because once in this year, you consumed at this level, as though you have consumed at that level. I don't know if that is not daylight robbery. There was a time I was trying to persuade my team. Are testing high court as far as the Court of Appeal. Maybe by that time, Rebo Gotla start creating a constitutional court. We will take it as far as that court to see, is this right? You can be charged for power that phantom power, that fake power that you haven't consumed, but nonetheless, because of Ronarle BPC, we are making it available just in case you need it. So we are going to charge it as though you've needed it. So this solar project, one of my hopes is that it will alleviate the terror of maximum demand. It lowers operational costs to the tenants. It reduces emissions in our environment. It sets a new standard for commercial properties in Botswana, because I'm already talking to Mr. Mahosi. Can you not do something called Mogobe Industrial Park as a further pilot project to cover it both sides and see how we can save there? And then, as Mr. Chisoro mentioned, we could then consider moving into other areas. And also what this does also, it reinforces the importance of local ownership of local solutions. If you look at what I just said, the projects that I mentioned, okay, except for Botu University, our friends have nationalized, but most of the power projects are controlled and owned by foreign entities. The example I gave by Gerstenbeek. The time is now. In fact, it's long past due. Now, so we can emancipate ourselves from this economic slavery associated with power consumption. True leadership is not just about visibility. It is about vision that creates public impact and long-term value. So we would like to believe that we at Mogobe Incorporated are doing exactly that. So to conclude my short speech, let me talk about legacy, possibility, and the next generation. Our goal is legacy, okay? We want young people. This is why I insisted that our young lawyers be present here, because for them, hopefully when they get exposed to something like this, they will resolve in their hearts to study more about the legislation that enables entities to get off the grid, to emancipate themselves in terms of power, and guide them through that. That is why I insisted that our team from Mogobe Capital Partners, our young analysts, Bagay, where are our analysts? There they are. That's why I insisted that they also be present, so that when they deal with similar projects in terms of capital creation and capital deployment on behalf of other entities, they have exposed themselves to the basics that we are sharing here. We want not just to see properties being fitted with solar panels, but we want to see the possibilities expand. It's possible to be African and to be excellent. It is possible to be local and still lead with global standards. If you believe that, say yes. It is possible to honor our roots while building boldly into the future. Say yes. The sun has always risen on Botswana. What you do with it is its power. That is our responsibility. The sun affords us the power. Are we going to have the responsibility? Let us lead with vision. Say yes. Let us build sustainably. Say yes. Let us light the way for generations to come. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.